She was hurt during the Las Vegas Aces game. Those was the last 2 games she played bad. The Marina Mabrey push could be the hump that broke the camel's back. I think it was that push, bro. I forgot all about the damn push.
Caitlin Clark didn't just get shoved, she got sacrificed. And the one holding the knife, Marina Mabrey. This wasn't a basketball play. This was a hit job on the WNBA's only true superstar. June 17th was supposed to be just another regular season game between the Indiana Fever and the Connecticut Sun, but Marina Mabrey turned it into a crime scene.
Marina Mabrey shoved Caitlin Clark to the ground after she slashed in the eye by one player, rushed by another. Like, I can clearly see.
Footage from the game shows Caitlin Clark first getting poked in the eye by J.C. Sheldon, clearly shaken and trying to create space. And that's when Marina Mabrey, out of nowhere, storms in like a linebacker and body slams Clark to the hardwood. This wasn't hustle. This wasn't physical defense. This was calculated violence. It's the kind of behavior that would get you thrown out of a pickup game, let alone a professional league. Yet somehow, in the most surreal twist of officiating malpractice, the refs gave Mabrey the same technical foul they gave Clark, the victim. What kind of league punishes its biggest star for getting assaulted on national TV? While Clark was still on the floor, wincing in pain, Mabrey was seen smirking, dancing, yes, dancing. Like she'd just dropped 40 in a playoff game. The arrogance, the audacity, the insanity of celebrating potentially injuring the one person who saved women's basketball from total obscurity. But it doesn't end there. This was no isolated incident. This wasn't just a one-off oops, things got physical.
See why some of y'all teams in the WNBA are just not successful, bro. Like, y'all don't know how to act. We're just gonna call it for what it is. Y'all don't know how to act. Like, there's basketball stuff, and then there's just completely playing.
No, Caitlin Clark has been targeted, systematically, relentlessly. And the league, they're watching it happen in slow motion and doing nothing. Absolutely nothing. No suspensions, no meaningful fines. Just a flagrant foul upgrade after a tidal wave of fan backlash. It's pathetic. And now, Clark's out. A groin injury that magically appeared after this hit. Her first 2 injuries were quad-related. Now, after Mabrey's body slam, she's sidelined again. Same leg, different problem. You don't need a medical degree to draw the connection. When a muscle is already compromised and someone blasts you to the ground with that level of force, your body compensates and breaks down. The groin injury isn't random. It's a direct consequence. And guess what? The league just let it happen. Before that game, Clark had heating pads wrapped around her leg. She was gutting it out, playing through pain for a league that doesn't even protect her. She's the reason the WNBA got a $75 million practice facility in Indianapolis. She's the reason ratings exploded, the reason ticket prices soared. And the reason thousands of fans started watching a league that spent decades in irrelevance. Then Marina Mabrey shows up, and with one shove, she nearly destroys all of it. The numbers don't lie. With Clark, Indiana Fever games averaged 1.81 million viewers. Without her, that number plummeted to 847,000. That's a 53% drop, a literal collapse. Ticket prices for the rematch between Clark and Angel Reese fell 42% after Clark's injury announcement, from $1,370 to $80. This isn't a coincidence. This is economic fallout. And where is Marina Mabrey in all this? Laughing, shrugging, saying, damned if I do, damned if I don't. That's not an apology, that's not remorse, that's defiance. That's someone who thinks they're untouchable, and the league is proving her right. This is the kind of moment where a real league takes a stand. A real league suspends the aggressor, sends a message that star players are to be protected, not punished. But the WNBA? They handed out a technical foul and kept it moving. Even after the incident sparked fan outrage, trending hashtags, and calls for accountability, the league only bumped it to a flagrant foul. Nothing more.
Trying to figure out why the entire WNBA acts like they hate Caitlin Clark. Maybe not the entire WNBA, but in tonight's game with the Indiana Fever and the Connecticut Sun, it was a dead ball and Caitlin Clark literally got shoved to the ground. This tweet really sums it up. Marina Mabrey shoved.
No games missed, no message sent, no justice delivered. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is missing games, missing moments, missing milestones. The All-Star game is just days away, scheduled in Indianapolis, her home court. Clark leads all players in votes with over 515,000. This was supposed to be her coronation, but now her participation is in doubt. And the league has no one to blame but itself. The impact is massive. Clark's MVP odds dropped to plus 210. Her absence has changed the betting markets, changed viewer engagement, and jeopardized the one event that could have boosted the WNBA's credibility nationwide. The financial machine built around Clark is stalling. And for what? So Marina Mabrey could get a few extra likes for playing dirty? Even worse is the way Clark's own teammates responded, or didn't. She gets poked, slammed, then given a tech, and the team just stands there. No pushback, no fire, no defense. As fans scream for someone to have her back, the Fever acted like it was business as usual. Where's the unity? Where's the outrage? Where's the damn pride? Fans have had enough. The comment sections on WNBA posts are filled with rage. Fix your league. Protect your players. Suspend Marina Mabrey. The petition calling for Sophie Cunningham to be protected and Mabrey to be suspended gained thousands of signatures in days.
Both of these players from the Suns come over and just knock her to the ground. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't understand why this is all happening to Caitlin Clark, who's brought so much attention to the league. Frankly, revenue and viewership numbers. She single-handedly has made the broadcast right.
Look at the optics. While Caitlin Clark lays injured, sidelined her all-star status hanging by a thread, Marina's Instagram is still up. No apology, no remorse, just vibes. Meanwhile, Fever fans and casual viewers alike are screaming into the void, do something, and the silence is deafening. Even sports legends are stepping in to call this out. Tennis icon Chris Evert posted, "When will these ladies realize, accept, and appreciate that Caitlin Clark is the best thing that ever happened to women's basketball?" This is a bad look for the sport and what's happened to sportsmanship.
Her left groin. So it is near the quad area. Her first two injuries, though they were separate, they probably were like a causation correlation type of injury. And those were two separate injuries in her quad muscle. And this is an injury.
USA Today columnist Christine Brennan was even more blunt. She called the league's failure to act a national embarrassment and said the WNBA continues to fail to meet the moment. These are not just hot takes from social media. They are the voices of respected veterans calling for accountability, and they're being ignored. If this was an isolated case, maybe you could chalk it up to heat-of-the-moment competition. But it's not. This is a pattern. Caitlin Clark has been shoved, elbowed, hip-checked, thrown to the floor, and taunted by multiple players since entering the league. And the refs? They either don't see it, don't care, or are too scared to call it. That's how we got here. That's how a groin injury that might sideline the WNBA's biggest star for weeks was allowed to happen under their watch. Because somewhere along the line, someone decided that protecting Clark wasn't worth the backlash. That giving her the same foul as her attacker was a good look. That letting dirty players run wild was somehow empowering, and now they're paying for it. Viewership is crashing. Ticket resale prices are nosediving. Sponsors are beginning to feel the heat. And every fan who turned up hoping to see Caitlin Clark.
People are wondering, why the hell was Caitlin Clark in this game, a game that was over? With 16 seconds left against the Storm, they won the game.
Basketball of
but
the season.
But some people are saying that Caitlin Clark got injured
as Clark's back in.
right there.
Is now asking themselves why they even bothered. The difference she makes isn't theoretical, it's data-backed. Her presence alone more than doubles viewership. She transforms irrelevant matchups into primetime spectacles. Cities schedule events around her games. And now, thanks to Marina Mabrey, the Golden Goose is out of commission. And let's talk about that Golden Goose. Clark isn't just a ratings draw. She's a brand, a movement, a cultural reset. She put women's basketball back on the map. The WNBA had a moment to ride that wave to secure long-term growth. Instead, they're fumbling the bag at every turn. Instead of protecting their star, they're protecting bullies. Instead of elevating the sport, they're dragging it back into chaos. Meanwhile, Marina Mabrey struts around like she's untouchable. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. That's not a response. That's spitting in the face of every fan who watched the replay and asked, how is that not a suspension? And speaking of fans, they've made themselves crystal clear. Thousands have signed petitions, millions have viewed the clips and voiced their outrage.
To fail to meet the moment. Terrible decision to allow Marina Mabrey to stay in the game. People are watching as never before, and this is what they see, ? Absolutely. Her comments.
And yet the league has done nothing. The message is clear. You can attack Caitlin Clark, just don't defend her. And that brings us to Sophie Cunningham. While Marina Mabrey got to walk free after her cheap shot, Sophie might get suspended for standing up for her teammate. Let that sink in. Assault your opponent, no problem. Defend your teammate, you're under review. The logic is broken. The priorities are backward. And the league looks weaker by the day. What the WNBA needs right now is leadership. They need to show fans, players, and future stars that they won't tolerate this kind of behavior, that stars will be protected, that goons like Mabrey won't be allowed to hijack games and ruin seasons. But judging by their history, don't hold your breath. Caitlin Clark has been everything the league needed and more. She brought in new fans, inspired young girls, and gave legitimacy to a sport that desperately needed it. And how has the league thanked her? By letting her get bullied, battered, and now benched. Because that's what this is now. She's out. She's hurt. She may miss the All-Star game, the biggest showcase of the year. The thing she earned with over 500,000 votes. And why? Because the league didn't have the backbone to say enough. This ends now. If Marina Mabrey isn't suspended, it's over.
I mean, it's a league, and I'm just going to be honest, it's a league of some of the most unlikable athletes ever created, which makes it a tough watch for a lot of people. So now we've got...
The trust is broken. The fans are done. And the league will be left wondering how they blew the greatest opportunity in its history. Because while the NBA embraces stars, while the NFL builds around them, while tennis protects their marquee names, the WNBA has chosen to do the opposite. They've decided that jealousy and vendettas are more important than growth and greatness. Marina Mabrey isn't the problem, she's the symptom. The real disease is a culture that enables this, that turns a blind eye to star abuse. That lets petty rivalries get in the way of progress. So here's your wake-up call, WNBA. You can't have it both ways. You can't market Caitlin Clark as the savior of the league and then let her get mugged on live television. You can't beg for ratings, then punish the player respo.
For her teammate. So evil.
Well, damned if I do, damned if I don't.
Damn.
Marina Mabrey, damned if I do. Did she just say damned if I do, damned if I don't? She just knocked someone on their ass for no reason from behind. She freaking Marcus Morris them.